The new Elemental Crucible event has been out for a couple of days, but unfortunately I was working on some guides and didn't really cover this. And I'm really sorry that I didn't earlier, because my goodness, some of these rewards are incredible. Now I'm going to go over some tips on how to beat this much easier. I'm going to go over the rewards, but I want to say, get on this. Normally I don't feel like I need to yell at you or rush you, but this is one of those things that if you miss out before this event goes away, you're going to be sorry. I'm going to go over those rewards, but even if you are just looking at it at face value, it is the highest experience per resin in the game. Now, early on, you probably think that you want ascension materials for your weapons and for your characters, and of course, those are great, but partway through the game, once you start getting into AR 30, AR 35, one of the biggest issues that I'm finding is experience books. I am running so low on experience books, and they've become much more valuable. And this gives you the highest amount of experience books for the resin used in-game. When you add in all of the free rewards that you can get, as well as the awesome Battle Pass experience that, again, free-to-play players can use, this event is very lucrative for the amount of effort it takes. In only an hour, maybe an hour and a half, maybe two if you're really slow, you can complete all of the tasks needed to get huge boosts to your character. So let's get started looking at the juicy rewards as well as some easy tips that are going to make this thing a breeze. Now, if we look at the Battle Pass and the Battle Pass missions, if you're trying to level up your Battle Pass, right, you can get some awesome rewards and experience. Weapon materials, these start becoming very valuable as you get higher level. Getting, 16 from this Battle Pass level, I'm just waiting so I can level up some of my characters. But you need to do all these missions every day, right? And some of them are basic, do your commissions, mine some items. And then there's the weekly missions, and they get a little bit harder, right? But for 675 experience, you have to use 1600 resin, which is a lot of resin to use. You have to spend 500,000 mora. Right? Complete 15 domain challenges. This is a lot, and you're getting like 400 and some experience. Well, from the event, if you beat the event in less than 3 minutes, which isn't tough, you're going to find a cracked team eventually, and you'll beat it, you're getting 2,250. That is 2 full levels on your Battle Pass. And that is great. That's amazing. That's going to make you work your way towards the weapons that are amazing much sooner. Now, complete 10 transmutations. I did 6 of them. This was 20 minutes. Each time took about 2 minutes and 45 seconds, let's say, to 3 minutes and 45 seconds. There might be a little window there, but I never did one that took more than 4 minutes. We smashed them. And so this is going to be like a 30 to 40 minute grind, and it's going to give you more experience than pretty much anything else on your Battle Pass. So even if you're a free-to-play player, even if you're only getting that top row, even if you don't spend anything on the Battle Pass, you're still getting great progress where you're getting experience, big chunks of Mora, you're getting some fates, right? And then more importantly, once you do get to level 30, you're going to unlock these weapons, and these weapons are great. This black sword, top tier. The bow, absolutely awesome. If you want to be a berserker, you've got a great sword. But these quests should not be slept on. The other thing too, is these don't seem to apply to your weekly experience limit. And that's great, because then you're not going to do these quests and max out your experience and not be able to do anything else. And so it's really important that you get this done. You've got 5 days to do it. You got tons of time to do it. And I'm telling you, it'll take you maybe an hour and a bit total. So play this when you can. Jump in. You can slay some enemies. If you do want to use your resin, that's cool, right? If we look at this thing, where are you? All the way up here. You do get a nice chunk of experience, and this is actually better than ley lines. So, if you do need some experience, that's good. That starts becoming really important later on, but you can also complete this without spending any resin. So if you don't want to use any resin, you're good to go. And I would recommend you jump on this ASAP, just so if something comes up in life, you don't run out of time. But guess what? There's more. So if you go to the event tab, this is from 20 minutes of play. I'm not memeing on you. This is 20 minutes of playtime. We got 20 Primo Gems, 40 Primo Gems, right? We're getting some upgrade materials. We're getting some Ascension materials, right? This is essentially worth, 40 resin right there. And you don't have to spend any. Getting any of these is multiple resin. Getting this many books and this item is 20 to 40 resin worth of value right there. Because you'd either have to do some ley lines or you'd have to go fight the boss, right? And so you're going to have to be spending that resin. And you do not have to use any if you don't want. There's more experience. And then, if you keep going down, 80 Primo Gems, 160 Primo Gems. That's a full wish right there, right? We're getting a bunch of Mora. And this stuff is all relatively easy. I think that everyone should be doing this. You don't have to spend your resin and get the experience. Just completing it is enough. So this is a free way to get, a couple of hundred resin, 100,000 experience, let's say, for one of your characters. We got a bunch of this, and we've got some Ascension materials. So if you're early on in the game, maybe you've got some characters you haven't ascended because you haven't fought the bosses, you haven't spent the resin. Well, this is an Ascension material right there. So I would recommend you do this. I've got a couple quick little tips if you want to beat this, if you want to attack this head on. Let's jump into that quickly just so you know what you're actually doing. So right when a game starts, you want to start slaying out all the enemies in the area. These ones are going to drop little particles, and then as some of the bigger enemies and boss enemies spawn in, they're going to drop not only the big cube particles here, but they're going to drop multiple of them. And you can pick up 3 of them at a time. Now, these cubes are going to give you the biggest boost to your Elemental Crucible progress, but you have to be careful because when you're carrying these, you're actually debuffed. And if one of the archers hits you with an element that causes overload or superconduct or anything like that, you're going to lose them. And so it's going to drastically increase how long it takes your team to beat this if you keep getting overloaded and losing these items. So my recommendation for you is to have one team or one group slaying all of the enemies and protecting the other players. If you leave a bunch of the archers in the middle of the map, no one is even going to make it to the Crucible to hand those in. Now, on the other hand, if you're all killing everything and no one is grabbing the orbs, that's going to delay you as well a whole bunch. You're all going to be standing there holding hands in the middle going, oh wait, we need to grab these. Because unless you're putting them into the Elemental Crucible, you're not progressing the timer, you're not progressing the enemy spawns either. And so there can be windows where you're all just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen, and nothing spawns in, and there's only a couple of these elements around the map. Now, I'm not going to lie, sometimes these are a little bit buggy and they don't seem to pick up. Other times you run through them, it doesn't look like they got picked up, and they still give you progress. So run through them, sprint towards the middle, and try to hand them in, even if on your screen it's not showing up that you're holding them. You'll still probably get the progress, and unfortunately the desync from everyone's connections is the issue. At about halfway, 2 bosses spawn in, and I recommend you just destroy the Ruined Sentinel as fast as you can. If you're an archer, make sure you shoot it in the eye 2 times so that it's out of commission. And then, if you're a Claymore user, break the armor on the other boss. If you have overload from electricity and pyro, that can work as well. But you want to take these bosses out because they can hit really hard, and you need to kill them so that you spawn the next group of elemental orbs. Now, this is the moment where you can really finish things quickly, but you need to be careful of all the archers that spawn in. They're going to overload you, they're going to destroy these elemental particles if you're not careful. So if you have someone like Venti on your team, hopefully he sucks up all the enemies like mine is, and you can make your way beeline to the middle. You need to be careful though that you don't get hit, and you can see there a huge chunk of progress on it because you actually, I believe, get extra progress if you're picking up the proper element with the overflow that you have. And there you have it. 2 minutes and 51 seconds, absolutely easy peasy. Make sure you guys are getting this done because this is an event that is going away soon and the rewards are worth it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you soon, my friends. Bye-bye.